Hey there, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast. But before I take you to your show, I have a very small request to make. Do check out the other episodes that we have created so far. And as you know, we are available on all major music and podcast streaming apps across the world. So, whichever podcasting platform you're listening to, do hit the follow button and leave us a rating, as that will help us improve our content and reach a wider audience. And with that, welcome to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Say That Again, Mate. Today it's just me and Priya. Priya, say hello to everyone, first of all.
Hello, everybody. How is
Uh,
everyone doing?
the way you have said everybody, it sounded like there are 10,000 people listening to us, but it's just 10 of them. So, yeah, all those 10 people, Priya says hello to you. And today is just me and Priya because, the guests, they're usually more talented than us. And so we have thought of just being the two of us sometimes so that we are grounded. We are continuing doing this podcast irrespective of feeling low. But yeah, there we are. Another week. Another week has passed. A lot
how
happened
was
throughout
your
the
How
week.
was your week?
It was good. I like had a good time at workout, and I had a great time at office. It was a little hectic, but yeah,
Correct.
it has passed. It has passed. And what else? We have got a new president. What do you
Yes,
say, Priya?
I mean the name itself is giving me chills. So I would say we were all cheering up for. Also,
Yeah.
they add woman president, so that still exists. Anyway, we were feeling proud.
Yeah. I mean, not just a woman president, it's the background that she has and
Correct. Correct.
place she has came from. It's just amazing. It's so inspiring for anyone and everyone around the world when they just go through her story and her life journey from where she started, what she has gone through in her life, and today she's the chief of armed forces.
Correct.
So it's just brilliant. And how was your week, buddy?
Lemongrass has been introduced to the chai, bhaiya.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Sounds rich.
Rich? No, it's quite like common here. We can
Just to
find.
make your tea sound exotic. I know it's just water and some leaves. Just to make it sound exotic, you'll say that, okay, I had lemongrass today, and today it's a gourmet tea.
But
And all
the
of those
smell
words are
is
used.
very soothing because the week was, as you said, your week was hectic. Mine was too. So I thought of ordering lemongrass for this week. This week required lemongrass in my life, and I was fortunate enough to find it in the right time. So
That's
thank you,
that's
God.
pretty good. Thanks God for the lemon and the grass and all the greenery around. Yeah, just great. God is great.
This is some like one of like gratitude habit which I got from my mother. Like you should always be thankful for the food you have. You must
Yeah.
also been encountered with such situation where your mother be like, thank God for that you are having good amount of food every day. लोगों को मिलता नहीं है ये मेरी मम्मी बोलती है. So that level of gratitude I felt for lemongrass this week. And what did you like? If we are talking about habits, is there any like specific habit which you took from your parents?
Uh, yeah, of course, being humble and all. They are always very humble with whatever they are got and whatever they are getting um, in the present day or in future. So that is one thing. And apart from that, just one of those habits to be polite to everyone, be respectful is what I've got. And in a way, it all connects. I mean,
Yeah,
thanking the God in a way, in a different form.
correct, correct.
So let's not make this podcast very serious with that.
No, it just reminded because I was talking to my friend and she told me about some incident through which I got landed up into some of
Mm-hmm.
my father's quotes. He quoted one beautiful thing, which you must have also came across. He said, "People might forget the way you were dressed up at that evening, the way you were smelling, or anything related to your materialistic stuff, but
Yeah.
they never forget how you made them feel." So it's important how what energy you gave in that particular room. So it all connected, and I was just having this acknowledgement for my parents today, that they taught us really, like, in a good way, that make good friends, make
Yeah.
make surround yourself with people who'll always push you to learn something. And I have one person in my life, KG Bhaiya,
Let
who
me guess.
I'm very fortunate that I got to meet you. Anyway, this is just an acknowledgement day, guys. So don't shy away from accepting it, KG Bhaiya.
Yeah, this is the gratitude podcast where we are just saying thank you
Let's
to
correct. Let's name it gratitude. Now that we haven't named it yet, we are
yeah,
gonna name it.
this is gonna be our title for this show. And also like not just like you said, surround yourself with people who push you, surround yourself with people who are better than you. A lot of people shy away from that. Okay, he's better than me, so he's gonna push me down or I'm gonna feel bad. No, be around people who are better than you, surround yourself with those kind
Correct.
of people, so you'll know that okay, whatever you are doing, you might be the best in what you're doing, but there's still more
Hmm.
to do, still more to achieve, still more to learn. So
Yeah.
it's a never ending process, it's just a never ending process. So I believe in that.
Yes. Look at Adani Ambani. Who are they gonna?
Whoa, what a segue, dude.
What a turn! What a smooth turn!
Yeah.
I mean,
Superb.
the level of competition they must have been into. I don't know what do they actually like. For example, you just said there is always someone better than you,
Yeah.
so you should somewhere be surrounded by such people. So these guys, now that they are like in a battlefield for this 5G airwave auction, so what do you think? Whom are they gonna like compete with? Or this is my bar, which I
I
should.
think they're gonna compete against each other.
Yes,
This
not
this is one of the most romantic rivalries in Indian,
businessmen.
yeah, in Indian culture. You'll in Indian atmosphere, you'll see that earlier there used to be those rivalries where in MBA colleges they used to teach about the case studies of McDonald's versus Burger King,
Hmm,
or let's say Coca-Cola versus Pepsi and all of that. It's
correct.
Adani versus Ambani. It's a
Correct.
very recent case study that should be learned, that should be taught.
I think
Yeah.
uh, the the way people give examples, like हम कौन से अडानी अंबानी हैं जो तुम सोच रहे हो. It just got justified. I mean,
Exactly.
the amount they are like investing for this particular thing, $14 billion. I was
It's
calculating the zeros
I can't even imagine the number of zeros in that. But anyway,
there.
usually the 5G spectrum is, or any spectrum for that matter, is really costly, and government earns a lot of money. A large part of government's,
Hmm,
revenue comes from spectrum sale. So I don't understand the physics or science behind it, but it's all across the world. It's all across the world. It happens the same way. So you just cannot be a newbie and enter the telecom sector. You have to be wealthy. You have to have some,
perpetually. Hmm.
correct. You have to have some money in your bank to start something like that.
Correct.
So with that, do we have do we have some topics? I guess the first one we have already talked. Let's dig deep into it. What do you say?
You just said topic, and there is. I'm not even kidding, guys. There is electricity bill lying behind. Like there's a table, side table beside me, and that reminded me of a very not funny but a strange, pathetic human error where like a family got approx 3 crore electricity bill. Have you heard of this in Gwalior, MP,
Okay,
Madhya Pradesh?
say that again. How much was the bill?
Ah, nice. The bill was 3 crore, approx 3 crore. The actual bill was 1300, but it quoted that it was
I think see if I get a bill of something like that at 3 crore or something, which is totally unreal, which sounds absolutely unreal to me,
correct. Huh.
I'm gonna not fall for it. I'm gonna go to the electricity department or whatever department that bill is from. I'll go there and ask for like, who the hell do you think have, has given me this bill? What do you think? I'm running a factory or something in my house that you're asking me to pay 3 crores for that? So I think
Yeah, it is strange that how the man responded. Actually, the one of the family member got heart attack. So the same thought came into my mind that how he got actually stuck with this particular thing and believed in it. That oh my god, maybe actually 3 crore was the bit. How does it happen? Are we gonna pay for it? No, 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 no. It's not.
how do you fall for that? How do
Correct.
you even fall for that? I
Poor.
mean, you might fall if let's say the bill is 1300, the actual bill is 1300, and you get something around 3000, or let's say 10,000, 15,000.
Hmm.
That in itself in India is a huge amount, and you might fall for it. You might start sweating and immediately rush to the electricity department to get it corrected or something. I mean, you want them to come to your house and get the meter read again instead
Hmm.
of just paying for it. So 3 crores is just unreal. I don't know why that person got a heart attack. Probably should have visited the electricity department.
His heart
If if
overreacted.
if I get if I get a bill like that, first I'll do is click a picture and start creating memes about it on Instagram rather than getting a heart attack. I'm gonna have some fun with it for the
Now that
first
we
few.
are official content creators, we are hunting for content. Oh my god. You're not gonna leave a chance. Have you ever come across such situation where the electricity bill, discrepancy was there?
Not electricity bill, but here in Mexico, once it happened that water bill for one specific month was, I'll convert it to Indian rupees. Usually, we get somewhere around 700 to 800 rupees bill per month, the
Hmm.
water bill. But one month it was around 9,000 rupees.
Hmm.
And we just lost our shit. And I called the owner and, asked him to visit the house and check if there are any leakages, because that's a valid case. If there's a leakage somewhere, the water is
Hmm.
running throughout the day, 24 hours, so you might get that kind of a bill. There were plumbers all in my house checking every pipe, every tap. There was no leakage, nothing like that was happening. So we went upstairs, checked the meter from where this bill is usually calculated. We found out that nothing's wrong there as well, no leakage anywhere, nothing wrong in the meter. So we eventually ended up paying that much amount for
Hmm.
that particular month. And next month we got this notification that accidentally the bill that was generated was for the entire building and not just for your house.
Oh.
And we had to pay for the entire building. And not just
Hmm.
we, I mean, the entire building, other houses, they paid for themselves. Whatever their
Hmm.
share was, like 600 to 800,000. But our bill was like a cumulative addition for everybody in the building. So we paid for like 8 houses or something, 10 houses. And then next month we got this, so we got a refund. So it was kind of sorted, but we eventually fell for it. We paid like through all the amount. So I thought
Yeah.
this was one like close. If that again would have been something like 80,000, let's say 80,000 rupee bill would have come, I would have like, hell no,
Yeah.
go get it corrected. It's not my bill. This was like I actually felt maybe there was some leakage somewhere. I started thinking, okay, yeah, the shower wasn't getting closed the other day. There might be water
You were
falling down.
backtracking your everyday schedule. Okay, one day my roommate wasn't uh, keeping a track of that. Okay, so
Yeah.
this happens, but not the electricity bill fiasco, but it just I moved to this house, and previously the people who used to stay here, they
Hmm.
uh, they skipped that particular month's uh, electricity bill. They didn't pay for it, so it got like uh,
Okay.
to the next one. So I was not heart attack level, but I was like, I'm more calmer to such situations actually. So I get I was pathetically like strange. ये क्या ये मैंने तो नहीं किया इतना यूज ये just the way you said it, you were backtracking it. I was also doing the same. There's
Yeah.
no AC in my house, and I most of the time I spend my day in one room after office. How is this not even possible? No, I can get it corrected from the main office. It's fine. So I was more calmer at that time. But
Yeah, I get it.
heart attack situation was extreme.
You know,
Someone could have lost it.
electricity bill. So this is not exactly with respect to the bill, but I've got another story. So usually we get the electricity bill every 2 months. So 2 months of cumulative bill that we'll get, and we have to pay it. So what happened once that I knew that okay, this is the corner in this building where the bills are usually kept whenever they are generated.
Hmm.
And there was this shift, or there was this change in the security. So a new company took over the security of the society, and they were not aware that okay, this is the corner where the bills are usually kept. So they placed it at some other place, and none of us were aware of it. So we were like,
Oh,
okay, maybe the bill hasn't come. One day, the electricity went off, one evening actually, and we just thought like maybe there would be some issue
wow.
with it, power issue, and we tried to reach out to the service center and the companies who take care of the electricity here. And they were like, okay, we'll look into it, we'll send someone to fix it. It didn't happen. So it was like one day so entire day we were out of electricity, entire night. Then I reached out to some other people in the building who had electricity in their house, and some they didn't had. So I checked out with some people who didn't had electricity. So they said that okay, we haven't got the bill, and the bill was kept here, so we didn't pay the amount, and the due date is gone. So hence the electricity is cut off. I was like, what? The electricity is cut off? Then I took the bill, ran like to the electricity office midday. I was my office running and everything was happening. I ran to the electricity department, paid the bill there. Then they sent someone. That guy came and fixed the electricity. So it was like in 1.5 or 2 days, something kind of wasted.
My God.
So that was a harsh experience with respect to electricity. Yeah.
You must have always been this calmer and content self of yours towards any such abysmal situation. I feel like that. You have always been like this.
No, I was like, okay, if there's something wrong, there has to be like
A
a reason
solution
behind
to
it.
it. Yes.
Yeah. Where is it going wrong? So just stop there and look back. At times people just say that okay, this is a motivational quote I read somewhere,
Hmm.
that people say that don't look back. It's a very common saying, right? Don't
Hmm.
look back. But do look back. See how far have you come. So that is what I
Correct.
do. Whenever I'm standing at a place and I'm stuck, I do look back, take a step back, figure out things, then again jump ahead. So, irrespective of what crisis is there, I'll just.
You said looking back. So is there anything like people are tend to ask this question. I've seen in many interviews. This is a very like common question they ask. The interviewer
Mhm.
asks that what advice will you give to your younger self? I can say uh, advice is that you're gonna, Priyanka, you're gonna become much like aware of your upcoming situation, that okay, this might happen, so you'll have to do this might not happen, so there should be a backup for it. You might have emotional breakdown scene, so you have to like calm yourself down and think in a better way. Although there is uh, like a sort of emotional breakdown which happens for irrespective of any problem related to career or anything personal. But now that I'm aware that I can handle this thing, so I have become much clearer about things. Okay,
See,
this
yeah,
happens, but huh. So
exactly. Like we talked earlier, like um there's everyone who's there, there's always people who are better than you. Similarly, there's always pain that is more intense than what you are feeling right now. So if you're feeling fever right now, maybe it's not the worst pain that you have seen, right? If you got COVID the
correct.
other day, the pain would be even harsh. If you got some other disease, maybe it would get worse. So it's just like that. It's not the worst pain that you're having. Just think it that way, and it'll just make sense to you. Like, okay, fine,
Maybe
let's go forward.
the threshold to bear a pain increases. I don't know. The threshold just increases year by year, day by day, whatever. Because we have seen our parents going through such tough times, and they now when we ask them about that particular, you know, how did they manage to get themselves back on track, and then they very in a very like similar tone or not changing it, they say करना पड़ता है बेटा, मतलब you have to get back. And they don't advise you कि ऐसा करना है or some do this, do that, you have to like get up on your feet. No, they just say सबके साथ होता है, this happens to everyone, and they have
Yeah,
to get back on their, you know,
exactly, exactly.
life
I
goes
don't
on.
know how unstructured this podcast is, how we went from electricity
But
bills
I'm
to
loving it, guys. If you're loving it, please, don't skip in the mid, because you may be like doing house chores or actually while working in office. I listen to podcasts. So if you're listening from office, then just smile to anyone sitting beside you. They'll feel good.
this is a gratitude podcast anyway.
Yes, guys, please.
So now is the time if you're listening. And talking about pain, Priya. Monkeypox. Monkeypox is around the corner. I don't know.
Yeah.
The WHO has already declared it as a hazard or pandemic or an epidemic, and it's around 100 countries, around more than 100 countries already.
Mm.
So it's in a way, this is like a global health emergency once more. And when is this world gonna be a better place, man? It's just not ending.
I don't think it's gonna get better, but yeah. I'm clearly putting this out. I don't think it's gonna get better. We are gonna have new things, new deformities, uh, new disability, new skin issues and cancer issues and everything. Because the things we are doing to our mother nature, it's gonna come back. Sorry, I sounded very like blunt towards this situation, but it is how it is.
Also, I was reading in New York Times. I mean, they quoted it that it's more amongst the gay men who have sex. So it's a gay man's curse. What do you think? I mean,
Oh my god.
that's a little weird to think about, but
How can we put this statement and publish it like this?
I exactly
Is
this
there
is
a
what New York Times headlines was that WHO declares monkeypox spread a global health emergency and mostly found between men having sex with men. I was like, okay.
Okay,
Fine.
okay. Calm down. This sounded like our gossip auntie, mommy auntie. ये आजकल के बच्चे वाला वो वाला स्टेटमेंट लग रहा है ये.
Yeah,
So
like nobody else is weird to think that way. It's going with everybody. It's just happening to everybody. And again, man, again, a pandemic around the corner. We just spent like 2.5 years of pandemic, which is still not over. People are
correct.
still down with COVID. There are
Yes.
active cases. There are, pathetic health situations. And the cases are rising day by day, irrespective of how many doses of boosters. Now, we're not even talking about vaccines. We're talking in terms of boosters that you've got.
Mm. Also, the pattern of people interacting with COVID patients. Let's say it's 2020 and one of your like dear friends have unfortunately got COVID, and the
Mhm.
conversation previously used to be like, oh no no no, start taking these particular medicine, do like gargling thrice a day, and take these particular steam sessions, include these particular ginger tea
Yeah.
and kadha. ये पूरा these used to be like templates set for any person who just got infected. And then in 2021, it was more like accepting. Okay, you got COVID, yeah. Okay, okay. ठीक है
Yeah,
यार.
I mean, people are now okay with it. People,
Yeah.
I mean, Indians, they already started treating it as a fever, just a regular fever. I don't even see people wearing masks while I watch the television or the news. I think
Hmm.
it's gone already. And again, the offices have opened, and um, everyday work is just on rise, and it's like they have skipped everything. No mask, no shit. I mean, at least in Mexico, you're not allowed to enter a particular shop or a complex or anywhere without a mask. You gotta wear it. And people
Yeah.
I really like about this place. People do like mask wherever. Most of the times I see like 95% of the cases people are wearing masks. So I think this is like a good thing in Mexico, but in other parts of the world, I'm still not sure if
Well,
there
if
are.
you're asking about our country, India, so this is what is current scenario here is. So in entrances of any mall, you see these guards. They ask you for like final certification of your vaccination. So people
Yeah.
are ready with their phones, and you can show anything to them, and they'll nod their head, and they'll be like, "Okay, go inside." They're not even checking it
Damn.
properly. This has become a like Indian joke. They are not even checking if it's like क्या बोलते हैं, it's a final certificate or it's your birth certificate, or is it your relay race first position certificate. No, they don't care.
It's just your Aadhaar card.
Yes.
They're just showing your Aadhaar card as a vaccination certificate. Damn it. Oh
So
God.
this has
You
become
cannot
to that
win.
level. Just letting
No,
India has come to that
no virus, no pandemic can beat humans. They're
level.
just so they're so innovative in a way. And with humans, should we move to the next topic? We've got a very interesting one. I think you'll find it interesting too.
Yeah.
So there's this 100-year-old Brazilian who has
Oh,
worked in the same organization, same firm for like 84 years. And he has got a Guinness World Record for that.
maybe he was planning that now that we have crossed 50, so I'm gonna better make it up to Guinness Book of World Records.
I think at 16 he just looked at the Guinness records and said that okay, I'm gonna beat this.
अब तो बहुत आगे आ गए.
83 years is the current record. I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna move to 84 one day.
हाँ,
No man, but it's
let's make
it's
it worth it.
crazy. It's uh it's just crazy to stick to the same organization for 84 years. I mean, in 84 years, what do you become? You become a CEO, a director. What do you become? But this guy is still there. I don't know. He worked in a factory, I guess. And I mean, it's just something to think about. Are you willing to stay in a particular job for very long?
Well, now that we are in a very dynamic world in itself,
Hmm.
I don't think I'll be ready for this sedentary movement in my life. But to think of that that human who actually did it, um, if you'll ask him what was the reason which made you stay for so long, he might not have an interesting answer to it. He'll be just like, yeah, I was doing this. I had my family here in the same city, so I continued doing that. Or maybe he might have a very deep inside, very not acknowledgeable reason for it, but it got a thing after he crossed like 80 years.
No, I think at some point he just settled in and
Correct.
just thought of like, who cares now? He
Yeah.
might be getting sufficient money, might not be that kind of a like greedy generation as ours. Like they need
Well,
just
they
money,
were
money, money.
correct, correct. They were not.
Yeah.
Not greedy. We are not greedy. We are now into a space where we don't want to settle for some. We want our hands in multiple business. We want our hands in multiple. Um, Speaking of, someone is learning ukulele in addition to piano. So you should better not be supporting this particular. So KJ Bhaiya
No,
has
no, no.
started learning ukulele, guys.
So it's just a addition to the like list of hobbies that I have. But talking about this money thing, like people, why do they switch jobs? They switch jobs, multiple questions, multiple probabilities. Like they might need a change in their job role. They might want to learn a new skill, experience something new,
Yes.
experience a new culture in a different organization. Like 80% of the times, it's not the case. It's like they want a better salary, they want to increase the salary what they're getting. 20% of the times, okay, fine, the atmosphere is here is getting a little toxic and I want a change, I want to move to a different, and the solution is to move to a different organization. I mean, yeah, I accept it totally, nothing against it. I think earlier people were very satisfied and content with what they're getting, and they, I mean, if you just look at the loyalty point of view, just
Hmm.
like 20 years back, let's say 20 years in early 2000s or 90s, late 90s, the employees who used to work then and who retired at around 200, 2000, 2005, you ask them, most of them started the job in an organization and retired from that. They never wanted to move out. They never needed to move out because the organization took care of them in such a way that they treated them as their families, and hence this is what actually the culture should be. Your organization should value you exactly like your family, should take care of not just you
Hmm.
but your family, so that in future, even if you think of moving out, you give it a thought, like, okay, man, maybe I'm ditching this, maybe I'm breaking a trust of somebody. But today the organizations are as, what do you call it, um I mean,
Like a
substantial.
barter
Like,
system. It has
yeah,
become a
it's
barter.
it's just a barter system. Today, I'm giving you something, you're getting. I mean, you're giving me something. It's just like that. And tomorrow, if our needs are fulfilled, we are just moving ahead in our
Correct.
lives. I'll get a different employee. You'll get a different employer, and it's just as simple as that. But earlier,
I
people
think
used to like, yeah, bow down to their employers in a way. And in a way, if you have to take my opinion personally, I think the earlier culture was a lot more better because the peace of mind was always there. Today, you pick up any employee in any company, I'm damn sure 99% of the workforce is not satisfied, is not happy going to the work. I'm not, I don't know why. Because this is what you wanted 5 years back. You wanted a job in this organization. Today
hmm,
you have it. Why
and
don't you
you're not
start
happy.
liking it?
Correct.
Tomorrow you're looking for something else. I mean, 4 years later, you'll get a job there, you'll get the salary that you desired. Again, you are unhappy. So you have to dig deep and think of like what's actually going wrong. Where do you actually need to work? If this is gonna happen till the time of your retirement, I don't think people are
Hmm.
gonna see retirement, because this is just adding to the anxiety day by day.
Also,
And
if that man was living in our era, he he would have been frustrated with the amount of people around him asking him about, have you planned about switching your company?
yeah,
Have you any further future plans with respect to your career options, expanding more? So I feel you just said the work environment previously was much better for with respect to employees' perspective. Yes, it was, but now I don't think.
and
Even my
people
parents
were.
would have asked me, दीदी आप
Hmm.
करने का मतलब मुझे इतना I have developed this particular. Uh, I don't know. What if she'll ask me? So if even if today someone agrees to work for a firm for more than even 10 years, people are sure short gonna ask them. They are not even important to that particular person, but they have this, they carry that authority uh, unsolicited.
I know. And it's like you rightly mentioned, the surrounding that adds a lot of pressure to people. And the only solution to this is start meditating. When you start
Hmm.
meditating, you'll just be full of yourself. You'll just understand the value of yourself. Because exactly this man, if he would have lived in our generation, he would be surrounded with so many negative people, like people just continuously talking about what they're achieving and what they're doing and what they want to achieve, which just somewhere sits in your brain. Today, if you meet a group of people, they'll just not laugh at the things that happened in the past and when they had nothing, when they were like, mm, asking money from friends to just eat a plate of Maggie. Today, they have all the money in the world, but still they're just busy bragging about it and
Hmm.
what they're going to achieve in, what they're going to, buy in future, all the materialistic shit. Because um, I'm telling you from my experience, and a lot of my friends would agree to it. Like, today, if you just talk to people and say that, hey, what are you doing? What's up in life? And they'll not talk about anything personal. They'll just say, man, I just got a car. I just moved to a new organization, moved to a new city, thinking of buying this house in this society. That's all. That's the conversation. And in a way, they'll try to make you feel like, okay, I've achieved this much already,
Hmm.
and you are still to get there. Someone else will say, okay, I'm moving to UK next week. I'm moving to US for few years, and someone will say, just okay, I just came back from that place, just to show them, okay, I had a great time, and whatever you are doing or whatever place you are living is full of nonsense, and this is not where I belong. You belong to no other place. You belong to nowhere. Just sit and look at the world. Everybody is doing their bit in a way.
Correct.
Okay. Everybody is working hard to put food on their table. May it be any, like I say, may it be Adani, Ambani, or any like construction worker. Everybody is doing the same thing. Everybody's end goal is the same, to have food on the table. End of story. What difference does it make if you have a bigger car, if you have a bigger house, or whatever? If you don't have people to speak to, all of those
Correct.
things are just meaningless. And again, this podcast has become very serious.
Also, it just a thought which just popped in my mind, which says, if if ever I'll get to hear this sentence, which you must have also come across, where people says or they mention ki, if you'll not do good in your career, you might end up doing XYZ. Or with XYZ, they may add like you might end up choosing driver as a profession, or garbage picker. They can, this can go worse with respect. to like,
I would love to become a Uber driver. You know how fascinated I am always with the Uber drivers, irrespective of the city, country, or whatever. If I get a chance to interact with Uber drivers, I will, because I know that they are always earning more than me, no matter what the currency is, no
because
matter
the
what.
amount of conversation and the stories we exchange with Uber drivers or like
Yeah,
Ola drivers or any other driver which we have come across through our journey, so we see a beautiful insight to their world. And speaking of drivers, I have like very cute thing to tell you. You must have heard of Uber chats, how these drivers they communicate, and
yeah,
they end up looking stupidly funny. For example, a few days back, a news popped up which said that a Delhi girl communicated with this driver, and she was asking, "Where are you?" or something like that. And in reply to this, he said, "I'm not in a mood. I cannot." And in Hindi, he said, "Man nahi kar raha mera." It was so cute.
as
I'm not in
simple
a
as that.
mood to come. How can you say that?
I mean, as straightforward as you can be.
So similar
Uber drivers are great fun. Uber drivers are
thing
always
happened,
great fun.
with respect to Uber chat. We were in Kochi, me and my roommate, we were in Kochi. We just landed and we were booking this cab to Calicut. So many
Hmm.
drivers were canceling, but this driver, he started chatting with us, and he asked us the amount which is reflecting in the app, so he can ask us the original amount without the discounted price. So we were okay with it. We said okay, it's fine. And then he was like, "आऊं कि नहीं आऊं, मैडम प्लीज बताओ."
What do you think? Should I come? Do you guys deserve me?
Do you guys?
Do you guys?
He was asking us. He himself didn't wasn't much of Hindi person, or like English wasn't his like main lingual. But it was very cute the way he was trying to communicate. Ki I am thinking, ma'am, should I come or should I not? You
What do you guys think?
decide. What do you guys think? This is a poll. So I just
So
love this particular
that
about
that guy is actually in a mid-career crisis, and he wanted to get your help, like get your
that's
advice. What do you
correct.
think? Should I pursue this ride, or should I just like bugger off
I
and cancel?
immediately took screenshot of this particular chat. I'm gonna send that to you. I must have missed it because of this chaotic day, but it was so funny. We were laughing. We were so tired because of the whole day we were traveling. But after this, we were so energized. We were like already loving Kerala. So again, Kerala has come into picture. Last podcast also I referred. You'll get irritated by this thing. KG
Most
will.
of our podcast,
Yeah.
involves tourism promotion in Kerala. But anyway,
Yeah. Huh.
I have another topic to discuss. This is kind of getting a lot of hate, or you can say mixed response on
Yeah.
Twitter and social media, and that's about the Ukraine president and first lady. They post for the Vogue magazine, Zelensky, and I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever it is. What are your opinion? What is your opinion based on whatever you have understood with the current situation? Because the war hasn't ended, there's no space for world peace at this point. I don't know when it's gonna end. There's already more than like 4 months or something. I guess so.
Yeah. It's not even. But my reaction to this was like, eh, was this even necessary? It was more of like, okay, portrait of bravery and all, but I felt like it should be more of field work, not digitally posting about it. I don't know. I'm
I
a
mean,
old.
yeah. What are you boasting about? What are you trying to show? Because like what 30% or 40% of the citizens have already fled. They already migrated to other countries. What are they gonna think about it? I mean, it's fine that you stayed in that country. You
Mm-hmm.
like you went on every particular forum in the world, like the Emmys, the Oscars, the UN security meet, and whatever, and tried to put forward your word to stop. But it's not happening anymore. It's not happening. Even the media coverage has stopped. You see news
Yes,
channels covering Ukraine war? No, not anymore. They're
not.
busy in other shit, other things that are going around the world.
Yeah, people posting naked pictures of themselves is more in news these days.
Exactly. Then the city got completely bombed by Russian aircrafts. I mean,
Correct.
that's a national news. Like someone is posed naked for a magazine, or
Um,
this particular magazine, which is Vogue, where Zelensky posed for along with his wife. I don't understand the need of it. Instead, he should be. I mean, we are no geopolitical experts, but nothing. But whatever little minds we have got, I think the world has failed humanity once more, and they're gonna do that every time. During the pandemic, we saw that. During this war, we are seeing it, and I guess in future also, just we should just understand that we are on our own. There's no one who's gonna save us apart from your country and your government and your togetherness and your community. Not just community, I mean your people, the people around you, your family, your friends, your colleagues. I think these are the ones whom you meet on a daily basis are gonna be around you, whom you talk to. But as a whole, I don't think there's anything called, earlier there used to be this um, concept of friendships, like India, China used to be
correct.
very good friends during Nehru and all. But it's look at the situation today. I mean, no country. I cannot say that the countries are not friends. They're just allies. Today, you're getting oil from someone. You're giving something back to them. You're getting something from someone else. You're just being good to them. It's a transactional world. There's nothing called friendship. No one is gonna stand for you. Same way. I mean, the entire world was just looking at Ukraine getting bombed, getting
Hmm.
destroyed, people getting killed, children, like 1 year old, newly born children, they are getting like every kind of harassment. And because of the war,
And
they're casualties of war. And people are just watching it on their news channels and think and just thanking God. Like, thank God we are not at the receiving end. You could be one day. You could be one day. This world is no more a place for humans. I mean, I don't think humans run this. Humans are the worst creature of God. I'm so sorry. I'm just
worst
losing
and
my
best, I would say. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Take a deep breath. I think what you're trying to say is this picture of president and first lady posing for a magazine. I personally felt like the same feeling was there when celebrities were posting pictures from Maldives when we were stuck in like COVID situation inside our houses,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rubbing in our faces about their you know luxury of traveling so privately that they cannot even. But it was not needed, guys. You could have, okay, you could have traveled, but again, posting for,
Yeah, I
again,
mean,
portray
see,
of
you
it doesn't
do.
define in such a way. So that's the,
I mean, the celebrities thing that you're talking, I think I totally agree to it. It's just that you do things, but don't post it on social media.
yes,
You're capable of traveling to Maldives on a private jet and spend a holiday in um, solitude. It's totally fine, but do not post because people are dying here. People are carrying oxygen cylinders on their shoulders just to save their loved ones, and you cannot just do that and boast about how privileged you are and upper class you are. It's just unnecessary. Similarly, I think this um, Vogue magazine, shooting for the cover of it was not necessary. They
correct.
could have, like, I mean, obviously, I again don't say that it's completely wrong or right, because we don't know what's entirely happening, what other things are happening in the
Hmm.
background. But what Zelensky should be worried about is just put pressure on the world once more to save them, to let Russia stop the war. Just imagine the kind of power Russia has. Like 4 and 5 months into the war, and not a single country has come up to defend Ukraine, to stand against Russia. They are now easing out the sanctions. I just uh, saw the news the other day. They're just easing out the sanctions, the European countries, because the Russia has cut down the oil supplies. So if they
Hmm.
don't get the oil, obviously the inflation is going to rise. Inflation is already at one of its peak in United States, and which is going to elevate in across the world, because and this will eventually lead to recession. Things are getting costlier. You won't have salaries to pay. You won't have money to buy things. So eventually your state or your country is under kind of a recession. So I just think it that way, that maybe um, currently what the world should do is just come together, let Russia stop the war. I think Ukraine is not getting anything by not giving up. Whatever it, I think we discuss about it, like what are you achieving by fighting? You're not gonna win this war against Russia, for sure. You're not gonna
Correct.
win this war. The
It is
kind of
full
millet,
of whispers. Hmm.
yeah, the kind of you are just adding to the miseries of the people who are already living in Ukraine. You know, because not everyone is capable of migrating to United States or Canada or UK or whatever countries that are offering immigration for people. But just imagine the condition of people who are actually right now stuck in Ukraine. I think everyone knows about this. People are shopping in a shopping mall and a bomb came and stuck it. Just can you imagine of the fear that anyone might be going through at that time on a day-to-day basis? Like children going to school and they're not sure if the bus is the target, or people going to office, if the office is the target, the shops are the target, or whatever, the trains are the target, because there are fighter jets flying above on the skies of Ukraine all the time. Those are the
Correct.
main
They
issues.
have to be. They
Yeah,
have to be
those are,
there.
you need to unite against those things and get those sorted first, instead of just I don't know, man. I just don't know. But yeah, the another I I noticed one thing, that this guy has got a haircut, Zelensky.
Also, why his wife's name is Zelenska added to her last name?
Next month I'm traveling to Ukraine, so I'll just get
I
this
found
answer.
it very funny. What is this? We tease people, we tease couples like this. You know, uh,
There would be something about male and
uh,
female.
at the end.
Yeah, something like a male and female has to, the spelling, the grammars. I'm learning Spanish, so I know this. There's this thing. But anyway,
Maybe.
I think we are done with the topics today, and was
It
kind
was
of a
fun.
serious podcast. Yeah, and full of gratitude. And the last gratitude would be towards the listeners who are sticking to us and waiting for us for to release a podcast every week. So here it is. I don't know how much value our podcast is adding to your lives and your space, but we will keep doing it in a better way every week. And do send us your feedback, suggestions, whatever. And with
Guys, you
that,
cannot see me, but I am folding my hands in namaste and actually thanking you. Believe me. Thank you
I
so much.
can I can totally envision that at this point, Priya.
You know I'm not lying. You, Katie Bear, you know. So you are my, like, the only supporter when I
All
say this.
right. I know how it feels when only 5 people listen to your podcast, but
Correct.
all right. With that, it's time to end this one, and we'll see you again next week.
Hey there, thanks for listening to the podcast. Just in case you liked the episode, do leave us a rating and follow us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to. It'll be of great help if you share the podcast with your friends and tell them what podcast you're consuming. And you can also send us your questions, suggestions, feedbacks, and AMAs at pleasesaythatagainmate@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our Instagram. Our handles are there in the description of the show. And with that, I'll take your leave and see you again next week.